Be sure to subscribe for more content.
What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the BigBC Finance Channel, and I hope you're having a very lovely day today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about Crow, what has happened to it recently, and where we predict the price to go to in the near future, as well as talking about a longer term pattern that I'm seeing here on Crow that could be very, very bullish. So very exciting news for anyone holding Crow. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. And of course, if you appreciate the daily analysis on this channel and you're one of the 88% of people that watch my videos that are not yet subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you like this content. So without further ado, let's get the annotations back on the screen and let's talk about what has happened and this short-term prediction to begin with, and then the longer-term prediction afterwards. So basically what has happened is Crow has come down from around 12 cents down to this 5.4 cents. We saw a massive drop here, as did the rest of cryptocurrency, but Crow was pretty badly affected because of course FTX went bankrupt and there was a lot of rumors going around that crypto.com could be next. So those rumors reflected in the coin's price and it dropped harder than most other cryptocurrencies out there. However, we have rebounded from the low at 5.6 cents and we're very steady, eerily steady at the moment at around 7 cents. Now, basically things have been very tame here in Crow, as you can see. Look at the size of these candles, very small candles over the past week here on Crow. And if you compare it to the volatility that we saw back when FTX announced they were bankrupt, you can see the candles over here are way more wild, you know, a lot of crazy price movements, but now barely anything. And of course, it's not just Crow that's doing that. If I show you Bitcoin, for example, we do see a similar story here on Bitcoin. In fact, we've just been trading between 16,300-ish and 17,000 here on Bitcoin. So not much price movement here either. Things are looking very calm on Bitcoin. I can show you Ethereum as well. Exactly the same story. Things are looking extremely calm, almost weirdly calm. And my theory for that is because I think people are waiting for this FTX drama to blow over. They want a resolution as to what's going to happen with FTX because of course they hold a lot of cryptocurrency and we don't know yet whether it's going to be dumped into the markets in order to repay debts within FTX. And of course, if that's the case, then prices of cryptos should go down. But we don't have any clear answers yet. So I think everyone is waiting on the sidelines to get this information. And until then, the prices are just going to go extremely sideways like this. So this calmness of price isn't just Crow, it's pretty much every cryptocurrency that we see. At the moment, we can say it's kind of consolidating between a support that looks like this. So if we just connect the bottoms of the price here, we can see that we've got quite a nice, well-respected support here. And we've got a resistance that kind of looks like this. So again, if I just make that a little bit closer, we have something that looks like this. Now, of course, this is a triangle. So this is an area of consolidation where two trend lines are coming in. And basically what's going to result from this, if this triangle is respected, is some sort of breakout. So the triangle basically says that there's going to be a calm before the storm. Buyers and sellers are in temporary equilibrium at this point, but something's going to give, and either the buyers or the sellers are going to overpower the price at some point. Now, of course, the price target of a triangle is always the first test of support and resistance. So we can just grab our measuring tool there and drag it to wherever a breakout may occur. So if it occurs in the next few hours, we get a price target of around 8.25 cents, a 15% pump there. But if we break below this support, then we get a price target of just under 6 cents here on Crow. Now, as you can see, the triangle is closing in here. There isn't much room left for Crow's price to wiggle. So if this triangle is to be respected, we're going to have to see a decision by Crow over the next few hours here. So pretty exciting stuff. We could potentially see a 15% trade on the plate if we do see a breakout. And when I say breakout, I do mean large momentum to take the price above or below. So large green candles like this, for example, taking the price above the resistance, or large red candles kind of like this here, for example, taking the price below the support. So something like this, for example, or something like this. And additionally, we don't have to get there in one swift motion, so we don't need to see one massive candle get to 8.25 straight away. What we could also see is a period where the price just edges up like this, for example, and gets to our price target over the course of several hours or several days. So I guess what I'm saying is if we do see a breakout, we do have to exhibit some patience sometimes and trust that the triangle will get us there. So that's one of the first things that I'm monitoring here. And so on top of this as well, we're also monitoring crypto.com and the news surrounding it. Of course, at the moment, they've got the proof of reserves, proving that they hold their customers' funds one-on-one, so they don't lend it out to other platforms, they don't leverage it or anything like that. They don't use it as collateral for any sort of debt. So that's good in that sense. Of course, the last time I read the news on crypto.com, they were going to get a professional auditor to verify this. So we're still waiting on that. But if they do have their customers' funds one-on-one, that's pretty bullish. And fundamentally there shouldn't be anything to tank the price of Crow further. And so I'm just waiting for that news there to show that crypto.com is in the all clear in terms of an exchange. And if so, then things are good in that department. Now, the longer term price targets that I'm looking at here on crypto.com are to do with the bigger picture. So if I just zoom out a little bit here on crypto.com, now I'm on the 4-hour chart here on Crow, and basically we've got the volume indicator down here as well. Basically, as you know, we came down to this 5.6 cents area. So this represents one touch of this purple line at 5.67. And what I think we could be seeing, where I predict the price to go to in the future, is something like this. So I do think the price is going to continue going down like this. I do think it's going to continue going down, and basically what I think it will do is hit 5.67 and it will start to bounce from there and continue to go in an upwards direction like this. And I say this because we've seen this before on crypto.com. So I'm going to go back to the last time the price touched 5.67 as our demonstration of what pattern I think we are seeing. Basically, the name of this pattern is called a double bottom. So essentially, we saw the price come down to this 5.67 region, but instead of using the 5.67 line, we've got a different double bottom line here. So this is basically an area where the price came to touch this line twice, not quite perfectly. As you see, we saw a candle take the price a little bit lower than that line, but basically we have a second touch of this line here as well. So this is the double bottom line. The price comes to touch it on the first time, pumps back up a little bit, and then comes back down to touch it a second time. And what we see is a massive pump here on Crow. So literally from the very bottom to the very top, that's pretty much a 5x insane. And on top of this double bottom line here, this kind of support, we've also got something called a neckline. So the neckline basically joins the peak of the pump between the first bottom and the second bottom. And what we can see is what we've got here is the price comes up to this resistance and pumps back down. And of course, the pattern is completed and we get a tradable signal when the price crosses this neckline for the last time. So what we see here is the price comes up to this neckline, bounces off it, so we get a rejection from it. Originally, we get supported by the 100-day moving average on Crow. And what the price does is finally breaks through that neckline. Now, this price target is the distance between the neckline and the support line at the bottom of the double bottom. And of course, that gives us a price target here of 15-16 cents, a 48% pump from that double bottom. And of course, as you can see, we did manage to make that price target and then some. We got a massive price movement here on Crow, but basically it all stemmed from this double bottom pattern. It's a trend reversal pattern since the price came down in this bearish direction and exited in this more bullish direction. And that is what I think we are seeing right now. So if we have a look over here, we've got similar conditions. If I go back on the 4-hour time frame, we've got this price touching the bottom down here. We've got the price coming back up to make its first pump, and now it's consolidating in a region looking ready to come back down to this 5.6 cents level. Now, if we can bounce off it and get back to this neckline in this region here at 7.5 cents, then the pattern is completed and we get that price target on Crow of this distance between the purple line, which is our support for the double bottom, and the green line, which is our neckline. And we've got a price target on Crow of about 10.2 cents. Now, that is a 34% trade. And so if we see this pattern complete, if we see a bounce of 5.6 cents once again, and the price get up to 7.5 cents here on Crow, then we could be in for a very nice trade. What we do want to see is when the price breaks through the 7.5 cents level after touching 5.6, is a lot of momentum and a lot of volume as well. And that shows us that this pattern is being respected and it's not some sort of false pump. So that's what I'm looking out for here on the longer term. Of course, as you can see by the time frames down here, this will probably play out over the course of several days, maybe even several weeks. And there's a possibility it may not play out at all. But this is really what I'm seeing now, and to kind of support it. Basically, with a double bottom pattern, we always see a decrease in volume at the second bottom compared to the first. So we can see the volume was sky high in this region here, but as time progresses, the volume has been declining. So this is telling me that we could definitely be seeing a double bottom. If we saw an increase in volume down here, for example, in this region, then this double bottom wouldn't be so substantiated. But the fact that we're seeing a declining volume tells me that we could potentially see this pattern. Very exciting times if you're holding any Crow, because of course we get a 34% pump if this pattern does indeed play out. Of course, you have to endure it going down to 5.6 cents again first, but it'll be worthwhile if we do see this pattern play out. And of course, it will be invalidated if we do see the prices crash below this 5.6 cents level. So, you know, if we do something like this where it comes down, but then we continue going down like this, then of course this pattern here that I'm suggesting will be invalidated. And of course, again, if we do something like this and we bounce, but we never make the neckline, so it just does something like this, again, I will not be looking for a double bottom pattern, but it'd be great to see this play out. And of course, we have that shorter term triangle that we saw here on Crow as well. In fact, it would be, even if we break up to the downside from that triangle, that would still be pretty bullish, because, you know, that would tell me that we could be completing this double bottom pattern. So, you know, we saw that triangle earlier, and that price target would send the prices towards this 5.6 cents level, which would be the next step of this double bottom, which would be pretty awesome if that is to complete. If we do go up to 8.2 cents, then again, that will be invalidating double bottom theory. So, you know, any outcome from this short-term triangle that we're seeing should be actually fairly bullish for us. So pretty cool stuff there. But that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. Do let me know in the comments if you're holding any Crow. And of course, if you want to keep up to date with all the trades that I'm making here on Crow, do follow me on my trading view. The link for it is in the description below. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.